Hey guys, and welcome back to the game room. It's time for some more pickups. This is from April of 2016 all the way up to and including the middle of June. There's also some bits and pieces in here that I've picked up previously and sort of forgotten to show you. So we'll start off with the Sega Master System, a sole Sega Master System game in front of you here. It's Double Dragon for the Master System. Everybody knows about Double Dragon. It's a cool game. It's boxed and complete, and it's in reasonably good condition. So got that for the Master System. For the Mega Drive, I've got Rock and Roll Racing, which is a cool game. Unfortunately, this one isn't complete. It doesn't have the manual, but, you know, it's not a massive deal, but it's nice to have anyway, so that's Rock and Roll Racing. Picked up Gunship for the Mega Drive as well. It's a cool helicopter attack helicopter style game, as I'm sure you can tell from the cover. And I've got Double Dragon 3, the arcade game. I saw this as well in a game shop that's fairly local to me and had to pick this up, whoops, as I'm throwing it on the floor. Unfortunately, this one as well, it's not complete. It's boxed and it's got the car, obviously, but it's not complete, which is a shame. But there you go. It's one of those things. Not everybody keeps their manuals or kept their manuals. Got Striker for the Mega Drive. This version does differ a little bit from its Super Nintendo counterpart in respect that you can actually change camera views. So, you may remember, if any of you guys have watched the Dave and Mike reviews that we did on Striker, well, that was one of Mike's main complaints, was the camera view, as well as the fact the game seemed to have zero strategy to it. But this game has got multiple camera angles, or two camera angles, I should say. Got Space Harrier 2, the sequel to the first one, of course. Everybody, I'm sure, knows about Space Harrier. Anybody that's been playing Sega arcade games for many years, or Mega Drive games, or even on the 32X, if you were lucky enough to have one of those. Space Harrier was released on that as well. And today I picked up Rocket Knight Adventures from Western Supermare. This game was quite expensive. It was about £30, which for me is quite expensive because it's not exactly the most common game on the Mega Drive. That's my understanding anyway. So we'll move on to the Sega Saturn. And for the Sega Saturn, I picked up a cartridge. Just says ST key on it with a CD and regions written in the middle of it for Sega Saturn. So I'm guessing that this is a region-free cartridge that allows me to play, you know, games from different regions on my Saturn. I'll give that a try. If it does, and if it also allows me to play backups, then I can put my Action Replay back to standard. I can reflash it back to stock standard, and that would be cool to have as well. And got this game called King the Spirits 2, which is a racing game. It's one I don't think we got over here in any way. Is it Touge or Touge King the Spirits 2 on the Sega Saturn for the Japanese Saturn, made by a company called Atlas that I understand Sega actually bought. And there you can see the cover there. For the PlayStation, I actually picked up a rather large number of Sony PlayStation games, as you can see here. So we've got Three Lions, as it's the middle of the Euros and we beat Wales yesterday. Here's Three Lions for the Sony PlayStation. I remember playing a demo disc with this game on it back in the day. And I remember Ocean Colour Scene, the band, the sort of indie band from the 90s, were also part of this. I think they did a soundtrack for this particular game, or one of their songs was included in it. Got Siphon Filter 2. Got me some Adidas Power Soccer 2, so continuing on the football thing, because I played a demo of this back in the day. And I thought, let's pick this up for the PlayStation, see if it's any good. Got Virtua Paul, which I actually played this on the PC way back in the day. And you can see a very young Ronnie O'Sullivan there next to a younger looking Steve Davis. And this game's cool. The PC version, I've got to say, is much, much better. Victory Boxing, remember an old schoolmate way back in the day, back in about 97, 98, he lent me this because he had Victory Boxing, and this is good actually. I quite like this. You create your gym, you create a boxer, you go through like a career where you go up through the rankings and you do sparring, you learn special moves, and basically, yeah, your character gains experience, if you like, and yeah, it's a cool game. I quite like this one. Got Vanishing Point, which is kind of an arcadey racing game for the Sony PlayStation. Apologies if I have shown this before, because I've had this game for quite some time. I may have already shown this before for the PlayStation there, Vanishing Point. Recently picked up Motorhead. Again, I had this back in the day. It was a game I actually bought for the PlayStation, but it didn't survive my clear out many years ago. when I moved on to the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, I actually got rid of a lot of my collection as it was back then. So this is a cool racing game. Picked up World's Scariest Police Chases because this game's also pretty fun. I remember the TV show as well. That was cool back in the day. I enjoyed watching the show. So here's the game based on the show. More football. So World Cup 98. Doesn't really need too much of an explanation, this one. In fact, this one I saw as well being sold on eBay for £20, which is ridiculous. This one cost me £1. That was it, a Great British pound. So for the person that's trying to sell this because they think it's special on eBay for 20 quid, I suggest you, you rethink your strategy somewhat, because you're not going to sell that for 20 quid, I can tell you. Here's G-Police. Again, a game that I saw back in the day. I think a friend of mine had this and played this. Trying to get you some screenshots, not going to be easy because the light on the camera there, or the light on the iPhone. Yeah, good game. Helicopter gun shooting game again. It's pretty cool. It's one I need to put some time into and play. I have still got the original CD from my PlayStation collection of Formula 1 99, but I decided to pick it up boxed and complete because I'm a fan of the Formula 1 games that came out on the PlayStation. So this is one for my collection. It's a good game as well. I remember this fondly. It's decent. And as you guys may know from previous videos, I've said about the Actua Sports series. I picked up the original Actua Soccer. It's funny because I've actually got this on the PC, again from my original PC game collection from way back in the mid-90s. But yeah, I decided to pick up the PlayStation version, which is, it's pretty good. So that's Actua Soccer. And lastly, for Nintendo 64, I've got two classic shoot-'em-up games. Obviously, everybody knows there's been a new Doom game that's been released for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and PC, I think, as well recently. Here is Doom 64 for the Nintendo 64. Picked this up today. And lastly, Duke Nukem 64 for the Nintendo 64. Again, I picked this up today. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. And these two were relatively expensive. Doom was about 13 Great British pounds, and this was 15, so quite a bit. And lastly, I know I've not put it out in front of me, and usually I would when I talk about things, but the Japanese Sega Saturn that I showed you, the Derby Stallion, or Derby Stallion as it turns out that it is. Yeah, it's not the This Is Cool Skeleton Saturn as it turns out, guys. It is a Derby Stallion. It's tinted green. It's not smoke tinted, which the This Is Cool Saturn is, and also the This Is Cool Saturn has the words This Is Cool written on it, and I'm sorry that I've said that several times now. And finally, so not pickups related, Gruss Newton, another YouTuber that I have mentioned goodness knows how many times on my channel in recent times. He's a great guy. I love his content. If anybody that sees my channel and is into retro games and hasn't already seen Gruss's channel, please check it out because it's awesome. He is trying to assemble a group of us to do a 24-hour game event, streaming game event, for a good cause. It's for Macmillan Cancer Research. I'm going to be doing 4 hours next Friday as part of that particular event, and I know Gruss is trying to get some other guys involved. Please, support it, watch it. I'm going to try and make it as interesting as I can for my 4 hours, and I'm going to try and catch as much of the other guys as I can, because obviously I'm going to be at work on Friday, and then I'm going to do my part, and then obviously at some point I'm going to have to go to bed, and I'm out all day Saturday, so that's next weekend, and yeah, hopefully it'll be good fun. I'm looking forward to doing it, looking forward to watching the other guys' streams as well, see how they get on. I was thinking about doing Gaming Heaven and Gaming Hell for my 4 hours, so guys, put it in the comments below if you think that's a good idea and you'd like to see me suffer with some Gaming Hell, and then have a little bit of good stuff with some Gaming Heaven as well, so games I really like versus games that I cannot stand because I've got some in my collection. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all again soon.